So it's the Super Bowl, and we're gonna make some wings tonight. So there's a variety of ways you can do it. I sometimes grill them, but if you want to do them in the oven, which you can, and get them crispy, the key is the secret ingredient, and that is baking powder. Not baking soda, baking powder. And so there's a couple ways you can do this. You can cut the chicken up, the wings, and then dry them out in the refrigerator. But if you don't have time for that, because you really should have that in overnight if you want to dry them out, the other way to do them in the oven and get them dry is this baking powder. So what I'll do is start by cutting up the wings, wash them, and then dry them as thorough as you can with a paper towel. And then you'll just put them, I usually just set them in a bowl like this. And then I coat them and get a good coating on those wings so they look like they're a little dried out. But getting that baking powder on there with a good coating, if you look inside here, you can see you get a good rub all over there. And so I'll do all the chicken like this, and then I'll put a little spice on it, and I'll show you that in my next step. So after I've incorporated all that baking powder, and you can see it almost has a little whiteness to it, because I want to make sure I get it pretty much all over. That's why I don't put the spices in with the baking powder, just because I want to make sure I get a good coating of that baking powder. So then when I get done, I'll just I put it in this pan, and I put this grate over it so I get airflow between it, and then I make sure I get some oil on there, or Pam cooking oil, something like that, so it doesn't stick to it. And then I'll take some garlic powder and onion powder and some pepper, and I'll just sprinkle a little bit on all of these just to get a little flavor going with these wings. So just the garlic powder, a little onion powder, and a little pepper. And put it on both sides here a little bit, and then we'll get them in the oven. And I'll put it in the oven for about 20-25 minutes to dry out at around 200 to 250. Just keep it on low, just so it dries those things out. And then after I let that dry out in there, those wings dry out, the baking powder works into it, then I'll crank it up to 450 and cook it for about 30-35 minutes, and turning it over once during that process. We'll get this in the oven now. Things are starting to dry out really nice. Again, that's what you're trying to look for. So I just turned the oven up to 450 degrees. I'm gonna turn them over, and we'll set them back in. Okay, so the wings have been there for 35 minutes at 450, and come take a look. You can see really nice crisp to them, all nice and dried out, absolutely perfect. So these are gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna make the sauce. So what I do for the wing sauce is I'll combine some butter. So I take about 3 tablespoons of butter, and then about 6 to 8 tablespoons of Frank's hot sauce. Just put that baby in there, and we'll toss them here in a minute. So we got the wing sauce that I made with the butter, and I got the wings in the bowl here. I just pour a little right over the top, like so. And then give it a good coating. Look at that. How good do they look? Huh? Okay, here are the wings. That was the first bite. Delicious.